films that I will never watch again and try to discuss why. Is it because it's bad? And most of these films in this series will not be films that are bad. Because this is definitely not bad. I paid $1 for this at the 99-cent store. Why did I buy this? From the cover, I get it looks like a cheap, bad direct-to-video movie, but there's a certain little name at the top there. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Don Bluth. He directed this short film. Him and a bunch of Disney animators were sick of what Disney was doing, and so they went and made this short film called Banjo the Woodpile Cat. And the problem with it is it rips off the Aristocats and a bunch of other kids' media, where you got this character who gets lost from his family and has to get back. And he's this little cat. Banjo's an annoying little pill. He gets lost and then needs to get back home. This short film has a couple strengths. Number one, trying to find his name on the back. When he says banjo on the back, whatever this guy's name is, this is what I mean. It's not a very memorable short film. There's only one moment I think is memorable. This character, you can see him and Banjo's friendship, and you really believe it throughout the film. As it continues to go through, you see this moment where he's praying, and that's the only moment where he's not a religious cat, which I know sounds kind of weird, especially now with the trailer cats. He's not a religious cat. He's like, and so if I love how he phrases it. I want to see this cat get home, this kid get home. So if you could just sort of move the truck in my direction. He didn't ask for much. Shows he's a noble guy. He just wants the kid to get home, and just really good friendship. But the reason the short film is so forgettable is because nothing happens. You've seen stories where like a kid character gets lost, and then they have to find their way home with the help of a character like this. This is just interesting because he has the religious thing, and that's only one scene. There's nothing more to this short film. The animation is pretty good, but there's moments when it's not so good. Like, there's one moment I think I was looking at Banjo and I'm like, what the heck? I can see all the little lines around you. And I get it, they made this by themselves, without Disney, but with no real budget really, but it's just something that is still gonna distract you. I mean, this is one of those short films you cannot watch just for the animation. It's not bad animation; it's actually pretty good. There's just a few moments where it's like, why? Well, not why, but like, it just doesn't look very good. And there's nothing really to it. The music numbers are alright, but they're nothing memorable. I've already forgotten them. I literally just watched this film yesterday. And I haven't checked out the special features. There's an audio commentary featuring Don Bluth, Gary Goldman, and John Peroni. Perot? I don't know. A conversation with Don Bluth and the story behind Banjo. Which actually, this is based on something that happened to Don Bluth in his actual life, where he had a cat on a farm that ran off. So, I don't know. This is an interesting film to talk about, because not many people do, but it's not really good. It's not It's not bad, it's just fine. And fine movies are really the worst kind of movies. Because at least a bad movie, I can say, well, that movie was horrible. It made me mad. It made me pissed off. I got mad. I yelled in a video about it or something, you know. It got a reaction out of me. This is like, it exists, but like, why would you ever watch it? I paid $1 for that, so it's not that big of a deal. And I didn't want to get it to see it because it is one of Don Bluth's early works, and it is actually pretty good for one of his very first works. The small one is a better short film, though, that he made, where it's about a little donkey, and I recommend checking that one out. But this one, watch it only if you're a huge Don Bluth fan and you want to see like all of his works, or maybe you just want to see the ones that people think of as good, because some of those are painful. Have you seen A Troll in Central Park? I haven't. Look, it just makes me want to throw up because that's how ugly and overly joyful it is. And by the way, I'll tell you how bad that movie is. Don Bluth has publicly apologized for it. He was mad. He said, I should have respected children. I didn't, and I publicly apologize for the abomination that is that film. Which is weird, because the guy who made it is Don Bluth. Secret of Nim, Land Before Time, American Tail, kids' movies that everyone says are the type of movies where you could watch your kids, where Don Bluth has said, like, kids can go through anything as long as there's a happy ending in the end. And, you know, there's characters in peril. Most in American Tail and Land Before Time, those are kids in peril. So, it's kind of interesting. But don't watch it. And if you do decide to watch it, you won't hate yourself. It's only 27 minutes in running time. It came out in 1979, apparently. It says right, I don't know if you can see that down there. I don't know if you saw that, but it says color 1979. It actually looks good, pretty good for 1979. In fact, this is the time after, I think, Jungle Book had already come out, which was Walt's last feature, and his company, Disney, went downhill, and, you know, they weren't doing so good in the 80s. They had their biggest flop, The Black Cauldron and stuff, so they were really not going in a good direction at the time. And it's kind of interesting to read up on that time. You really should read up on that time, because it is a very interesting age of Disney, because there are people who remember the films that came out during that period. It's not like the films were forgettable, but they're actually pretty interesting stories. And films that came out during that time, and it's kind of an interesting area of Disney. We don't think of Disney as the failure at all anymore. I do. I think Disney has failed as a company, not as in the box office. So I wanna encourage people to read up on that time. But this is a great short film if you just want to see something quick, easy to throw on, and you like cute little animated movies. But do I recommend it if you're looking for a good film? No. Just flat out not.